Every damn day.
Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge, and welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today I am going to be talking about why I am a member of the People's Council, the collective, not the council itself, and why I believe this is important for the issues that are happening in our city and for promoting entrepreneurialism, how to move forward in our city. I'm going to emphasize a few times throughout this show that I am speaking for myself, not speaking for the People's Council. The People's Council speaks for the People's Council. I am not a leader or anything like that. I am two shoulders that are standing next to two other shoulders. I cannot emphasize that enough. We are decentralized. We are headless. We are a group of concerned people. Well, you'll find out who we are in a minute. I'm going to show you some clips from the city council meeting. I'm going to show you a short little clip from the Midwest Academy strategic planning process that I'd like us to just all start thinking about. There's other models out there where nobody's decided anything yet. I'm speaking for me and only me. And my main purpose today is to show you why I'm a member of the collective, the People's Council, and why I think what we are doing is necessary in our city. And I hope that you will join our effort. And that's probably my main goal, is to get as many people as possible involved in this effort. The more voices, the better. The more representation, the better. We're trying to make everything accessible. We're trying to make it safe. And we're trying to build something special here. So I'm going to start out just sharing a little bit from the city council. And this is what I said to the city council as I introduced it. So let's play this.
It's followed by Kelsey Hudson.
I'm Jerry Norris. I'm with the Fledge. In 2015, when I started the Fledge, I had come back from traveling all over the world, helping people in other communities eliminate food safety problems or different labor problems that might have been happening in the Middle East. And I found myself with a gap where I wasn't fighting poverty in my own city. So I started this fight against poverty, thinking that it would be about entrepreneurialism, about all of the innovative things we all talk about. And what I found is that every day we're dealing with basic needs. We don't have dreams of leisure and prosperity and all of that. We're dealing with basic needs. Safety, security, food, and shelter. I had to pull my wife into this work. We both gave up careers to do this work. I thought I could do it without pulling her in. I have to pull her in. And I mean 7 days a week, and sometimes 24 hours a day. Phone calls at 3 a.m., always fighting for basic needs, and realizing that poverty never takes a break. People in poverty don't get breaks. I've always heard poverty is a policy decision, but I never truly understood that. So a couple months ago, I decided to study our government, our corporations, our institutions. I looked at housing, food insecurity, employment, economic development, the HRCS, the LHC, etc. And all I saw was inequity. You know, inequity is the number one cause for gun violence. Equity comes from inclusion, not a committee, not a policy, not assessments, not boards. Inclusion. And inclusion comes from inviting and welcoming. Inviting means distributing widely and making it accessible for all. Welcoming includes following a professional and courteous, equitable RFP process. processes that are transparent in every step of the way. There are standards for this. You can implement this. You don't have to do audits and assessments and all these other things and measure it to death. Just implement it. You have a very competent, innovative, entrepreneurial, problem-solving community that is here, ready to help. It said that on CNN, right? I couldn't find the article, but I'm going to find it. Why are we booming? We're not the people you're proud of. We're the people you want to move. That's what I got out of tonight.
Thank you.
So that kind of sums it up for me. I'm frustrated, and I want to be working on entrepreneurialism. I want to be working on technology and innovation and leisure and hanging out with all of you lovely people doing all kinds of great things in this city. And yet, when I close my eyes and I think about what this city could be, I see people having fun. I see people talking about interesting things. I see people aiding each other mutually. I see people just really being able to prosper on just being alive. Why aren't we just alive? Why are we this machine that is so tied up in consumerism and all these nasty ills that we have? Why all these things create a community that is not safe, is not secure, does not have food security, does not have shelter security. I just don't get. It's short-sighted. All of us deserve something. We all put sweat equity into the city every day. You take anybody standing on the corner with a cardboard sign. That's our culture. That's what we see. They're out there trying to do something. They might buy a beer. They might do something you don't agree with, but they at least are doing something, right? They're adding something to what we have here. And when we talk about the citizens and the people being involved, we're never talking about those people, but we need to hear their voice. They can solve their problems better than we trying to guess what they might be. We need to hear the voice of the people. And, I'm not doing well on comments because I don't have my glasses, but thank you, Francis, and thank you, Kelsey, for chiming in. I saw you both there, and I hope that we continue to be strong together. But we need the people to be heard. And what I'd really like is I got to skip around and find something on the video, but I'd like you to hear from Connor as they introduce the People's Council. You'll see what it is. They're introducing an event. So, share my screen again. And here's Connor.
From your polling place, we have made many changes because of redistricting and aligning buildings to
Oops.
deal with some issues of.
I'm in the wrong spot.
Matters.
Sorry, everyone.
Legislative matters includes the public hearing, which is item 2, resolutions and the consent agenda. And
sorry, everyone, for the delay. I can't miss this, though. I got to get this right.
Vote on to showcase our composed with the land. Hello, everyone. I am Connor Holguin, and I'm here representing the 4th Ward of the People's Council of Lansing. We are the People's Council of Lansing that have come together as a group from all sides of the political spectrum that feel dismissed and disrespected by our elected city officials. We are composed of
I'm sorry, is this an event?
Yes.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
We are composed of one representative from wards 1 through 4, with 4 at-large council members to mirror our city council. We aim to focus on the same issues that our own council members will vote on to showcase the true needs of Lansing and its residents, to give a voice to those that are being unheard. Citizens are the most powerful component of government, and we will work with you and expect a seat at the table. I would like to invite you all to our next meeting of the People's Council on August 1st at 7:30 at the Fledge Lansing at 1300 Eureka Street. And please like our Facebook page, the People's Council on Facebook. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much.
So did you catch that interruption of her right after the disrespected and dismissive comment? We couldn't have scripted the city council to have gone really any better from what we were trying to do. I'm not saying that the votes came out in our direction or anything like that, but we couldn't have scripted it any better because they showed example after example of what we are talking about. Our voices are not being heard. Now I'm going to jump real quick to Jody Washington, who introduces each of the members of the council. So let me get this right this time. So here's Jody Washington.
The first ward. I am a member of the People's Council. We are here because we love our city and her people. However, we have become weary of voicing concerns only to be met with empty words of acknowledgement in an attempt to placate us. It is merely an illusion of concern. We are serious about being heard and working together toward meaningful solutions for issues and concerns affecting the citizens of our city. We have found it necessary to find an alternative venue for the purposes of marching forward to move our city to the best she can be for all that live and work here. We are dedicated to ensuring that our city and our local elected officials work for the people, with the people. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce the People's Council representatives that the people of this group have elected. Also present are supporters that actively believe in this mission. We do look forward to working with you, and we hope that you will give us a seat at the table and truly listen to what we have to say. First Ward Representative, Julia Miller. Second Ward Representative, 0Q. Third Ward Representative, Marlon Beard. Fourth Ward Representative, Connor Holgen. At-large representatives, Carter Brown, Claretta Duckett Freeman, Dwight Evans, and myself. We look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next we have.
So I think that is a really good summary that, it's the epitome of what we were trying to do. We all met up on Sunday. We had disagreements. We had conflict. We worked through it. We were respectful to each other, or we did our best. Let me say that. We're still learning. We're still trying to figure out how to hold space the best. If I quote our poet laureate Masaki, he said that holding space for other people can be so fragile, and we want to be very sensitive to this. We've got to get really good, just like Michael Lynn always says. We have to get good at managing our conflicts for disagreeing and figuring out how we're going to work together and stop punching sideways and start punching up. If we're punching sideways, we're hurting each other's efforts. If we all started punching up right now at the same time, they have to listen to us. And this isn't violence or anything. It's a metaphor, okay? So nobody freak out. But what I'm talking about is that we need to point our arrows in the same direction. We need to come at the problems at different angles that we all have, because we're diverse, we're rich in knowledge, we are innovative, we are entrepreneurial, we are problem solvers. If we get together and really join forces, we are going to make a difference. We just need the basics, and our current power structures are not effective at helping us thrive. They need to start to listen. They can stay if they start to listen, but if they're not listening, they've got to go. We need to change things. We're desperate. We're impoverished. We're hungry. We are unhoused. We are addicted to things. it's time. Change is coming, guys. So I want to reiterate something about why I want to just show you a clip. And I really, really no, never Jerry for mayor. We need a city manager and just another mayor that's a headpiece or whatever. But thank you, wife. I love you. I love all y'all, by this way. And oh, I forgot to say something. Mike said, chimed in and said facts and go Connor a few comments ago. And I'm really proud that when Mike started, throwing that idea out there, I had it was serendipity. I just tuned into the show. I had just gotten home and he said that. And I knew exactly what he was talking about without knowing the words he was going to use. I just knew what he was talking about. And I'm really honored that you involved me and that I'm so happy that serendipity happened, that I could at least offer up the Fledge to host. And this has been just, oh my God, this is a wonderful experience getting people together and seeing how we can align and not how we don't align. So I want to show, I got to skip to another part in the city council because I think that anything I heard outside of our group that had showed up that really articulated or showed the example, I'm going to have to give a shout out to Brian T. Jackson because what he does in these next few minutes, I think, is the microcosm of what we are talking about. And I mean, what he demonstrates. So here's Brian T. Jackson.
Nonprofits and small businesses come up from the pandemic as well. And we have basically, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but we have $50,000. The first half, $50 million. The first half was already spent. All right. And now we have things we've always wanted: fleet, computers for the police, all these different things. And we just are left with a sliver for the mayor to decide which nonprofits, which small businesses, and the like is gonna, I don't think it's gonna be a squabble, but everybody's gonna want some. So that's only 1.9 million out of 50 million, when the 50 million was designed for the exact same things that was listed here. And it's just also interesting that some of the things that are listed, like household assistance to households, our attorney says we can't do that. But yet things that are not listed, like laptops for training, public safety barriers, all these different things that we always wanted aren't listed, but somehow they're going to get a big chunk of the money that's designed for what is listed here. So again, it's not a knock to anybody, but whether it's an 8-0 vote or a 7-1 vote or a 7-2 vote, it's probably going to pass. But I don't think that an 8-0 vote represents the makeup of the city, because we've already heard there's a lot of discrepancy on what people want and what it should be spent for. And the fact that we're doing, I'm going to call it a second budget, but it's really the second tranche here. We're doing a second budget. And again, we know that we need some of these things, and we discussed some of these things, and we allocated it in the last 5 years that I've been here. And lastly, I just think that I'm going to vote no on this because I don't think it fits what is intended here. And I don't think that it's anything more than like a Christmas list of things that the city needs. And the city does need these things, but it's not designed to go where it should be. So that's just my rationale.
Remember, thank you so much for standing. We appreciate the show of support. But again, if we could refrain from snapping, clapping, etc., I certainly.
Brian T. Jackson, I think he did a really good job illustrating the um, the point. And nothing scripted, nothing planned. We couldn't have written this script better. I think as someone, I'm gonna Francis, thank you for that. I'm gonna address that. Luna's saying defund the police. We're gonna be bringing a lot of issues to the table that we need to talk about and stand behind and unite to fight. I wanted to, when Brian T. Jackson was talking, you might have heard the chairs start to wobble a little bit, and you heard at the end Adam Hussein talk about thank you for standing. Throughout the meeting, as we supported different things that were being said, you can't clap, you can't snap, you can't whistle, you can't make any noise. Adam had suggested at the beginning that maybe we could stand when we agreed for something. So we started to do that. And one of the most beautiful things that happened that night, I remember, I don't watch the whole city council, but somebody stood up. They talked about invasive species. They talked about native plants. And we didn't know this person and we didn't know this issue, or I'm sorry, we did know this person. We didn't know this issue, but it wasn't planned that we were all going to stand for that. But it was just just a great example of how in the room we can literally stand for each other. And when we do that, it's not just one voice there saying, get the native plants back. There's 50 people standing up behind them saying, we agree with that. Listen to this. It's not just them. And we saw that again and again. We saw people who did not come with us, who were standing in support of things that we were standing in support of. It was truly a beautiful night, and I'm proud of every single person that has put any ounce of energy into this effort. I want to keep us going. I want to keep us going because if we can start to gain the power that we need, we can take over some of the management of a financial capital, our built capital, our human capital, our natural capital, and the big powerful thing we have right now is our combined social capital. We can make this work, and I want to show you another video from the Midwest Academy that shows a strategy for that. So I've got to do that. It's going to give me a second. Oops. So before I play this video, again, this has not been voted on. We are very, very serious about the voice of the people being what we represent and the moves we make and all of that. We need to educate each other and present different things to each other and talk through this. We're going to do this right, and we're going to stay extremely powerful and extremely effective. And we are going to change the way this is all working. So I want to show you a model that I like, that I keep thinking about and want to make sure that I share it. I don't know if I'm lobbying. I have a little bias towards this, but only because I've watched it a couple of times. It came from one of our community members. They suggested that I watch it. I've shared it around a little bit and getting good feedback. And I would love to hear your feedback, suggestions for other things. We are the People's Council, and we do what the People's Council wants. So that means, all of us have different views on things. And when that all comes together, our strength can be in our differences and in our numbers. So let's get this playing, and I hope you're good with it, or I hope you like it, or kind of get an idea of how we can build power. Wait, you guys couldn't hear audio at all? All right. That, I wonder if it's got a copyright. Let me try something different. Sorry about that. Well, the other thing though, in case this does not work, I have shared the link. I'm not trying to, this is a open video on YouTube. I've shared the link with you all so that you could go watch this on your own. I hope you'll, if you haven't seen City Council yet, I hope you do. Oh, I might have solved the problem. All right, hold on. Now it's going to work, but I got to go back to 34. Exactly. Sorry, everyone. You did hear City Council, though, right? Someone could give me a thumbs up if you heard City Council.
your
That would have
decision.
sucked.
So in and of themselves, they are not enough. So when we start thinking about strategy development, remember, we've already gone through the process with
Quick pause. Was it? Are you guys hearing the video now or audio now?
our people to figure out what is our solution to the problem we're experiencing. And if it requires a change in public policy, then who are the decision makers? So this strategy development lets us collectively, in a systematic way, think about power. It allows us to do a power analysis. What do we want to win? And then how do we concretely unpack the power we need to win it? What I love about how we develop strategy is it is a collective process because it engages people most impacted by the problem. It engages allies. It brings together people to figure out a good solution. And ultimately, good strategy development strengthens our organizing abilities for the long haul. So let's talk a little bit about the Midwest Academy strategy chart. The strategy chart is a tool that we use at the Midwest Academy to help us think about strategy. And we unpack it in a very systematic and intentional way. First, we look at the goals column and we say, what do we want to win? Then we look at the organizational considerations column and we think about what are the resources and people power we have to put in the fight. But then we get to the constituents and allies column, which is where a lot of our people power is concentrated. And that's the column in which we think about how many people do we need to bring into this fight in order to put pressure strategically on the decision maker. In the target column, that's our decision maker. That's who we think about in terms of the people who have the power to give us what we want. How much power do they have? How much power do we need to put pressure on them? And then the tactics column. How do we strategically put pressure on decision makers so that they will support our solution to the problem? So in organizing.
So that's the little bit that I wanted to show, kind of how I've been thinking in my own mind as I talk to, the Fledge, talk through the Fledge platform or 99 Problems or Every Damn Day. These are kind of the things trying to get us all together. You see, we need everybody. So really today, a shout out to where we're at. Our first win, I think, couldn't have gone any better. I think that, we have to pick our next win. We have to keep this momentum. We've set a high bar for the next win. And so we will be having a meeting Monday night, 7:30 at the Fledge. We are trying to make those as accessible as possible. So we are providing a Zoom link. We do have a volunteer effort for rideshare. if you wanted to get over to the Fledge, I think we should probably do something maybe with a tech share or something. If we could put a hub somewhere, if for example, somebody at Otto said, hey, you can come into our room and participate in the Zoom. I think we need to be thinking about decentralizing, including improving our accessibility. It is so super important as we remove barriers for others. We are removing barriers for ourselves. What's Michael saying? Let me get, Shannon's emphasizing you can bring your children. We really need to do something about accessibility to our meetings, but also city council needs to do that as well. There are people that can't afford to come to a city council meeting. There are people that cannot get out of their house to come to a city council meeting. There are people that don't have child care. They don't have transportation. There are so many barriers, all from the problems that are being caused by the mismanagement of our resources. So many barriers to getting to the city council that it almost feels intentional. But we're going to show up. We're going to find ways. We're tech savvy. We're super smart. We're problem solvers. We're entrepreneurs. We're innovators. And we have a huge collective brain. We know how to do everything. That's what you should be selling to the corporations when you try to attract them here for business and economic development. That's what you should be selling as the investment in Lansing. We're innovators, we're problem solvers, we're competent, we're strong, we know a lot, and you're gonna see. It's not a threat, we're coming to play nice. We love you guys too, it's your city too. But we're gonna change the way the direction's going. We want you to start listening. You can do that literally today. Start listening and start acting in what we're saying. That's what I mean by listening, not the hearing part, the doing part. All right. We're shoulder to shoulder. I'm two shoulders. I'm standing next to two other shoulders. We got to push this together. We got to stay united. We've got to build this power structure. I couldn't have done this show today without you, literally. I didn't know the audio wasn't working. A few of you have given me the references to this. Everyone almost on the screen or has commented, has contributed to the city council meeting or the people's council's meetings. We can't do anything alone. I always say everything I've ever done has been through and with other people. Let's get more and more and more people. And let's define a win. Let's go get that win. And let's just stand there every day feeling like we're finally winning. Can you imagine? Love you all. Have a great day. I'm going to keep talking every damn day. If I've got a guest, I'm going to keep doing that. If I don't have a guest, I'm picking another subject. I forgot to do something. All my entrepreneurs, all my crypto people, all those fledglings, all of our grassroots organizations, please share in your groups. Get involved in this. It takes all of us. It takes a village. Michael and Erica say it all the time. Sorry, they named their company, their organization. Anyways, I'm going to start rambling. It would be nice if the next city council was a hybrid meeting. We're researching that. They're hiding behind an open act or open meetings act. They're not hiding. I don't know, actually. I don't know enough about this. But in Detroit, they did the same thing, and their director of public health or their health district, in our case, it would be Linda Vale, put an order that they had to be hybrid to help to stop the spread of COVID. So I don't know if that's a path we take, but it should be hybrid just for accessibility. You know, we must have an accessibility policy for the city, and this meeting should be open to that. And if there's a law against it, then it's another law against the poor. It's another law against the underrepresented and underserved. This is a war on the poor, and there's a lot of us, thankfully, I guess. Love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Talk to you later.